All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye.
You know, I have a lot of ideas set up for me to vlog about in the future, but one that really keeps going over and over in my mind is one called The X Factor. I'm not talking about the TV show that people seem to enjoy because I don't even really know what it's about. No, when I'm talking about The X Factor, what I'm actually talking about is exes. Like when you break up with somebody that you're in a relationship with and they become your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever friend. You get the point. I have a few friends who are going through some breakups. A couple people are getting divorced. Now, ending a relationship is never really easy. Unless, of course, you absolutely hate the person you're in a relationship with. Which, sadly to say, that happens quite a bit, so that you're kind of doing a victory dance when you get out of it. But even then it's hard because if you have a home or pets or kids or even an apartment where you live together, you have to divide up the assets. You have to figure out who's keeping the animal or a schedule for the kids, which means that sometimes the court's involved and sometimes money's involved. Okay, let me just put it out there. I'm probably not the person who should be talking about relationships because I'm not really good at them. I don't work well in a relationship because there's rules. People have an overwhelming need to change somebody. The things that draw you into the person and at first attract you to them, oftentimes those are things that you end up trying to change later on. My mom told me that men love to be needed. Unfortunately, I always thought that wanting somebody was enough, but it turns out that it's not. People do like to be needed. Needed in the sense that, you know, if you didn't have them, you would be kind of lost without them. And I've always been under the impression that no matter what, you go on. No matter who you lose or the trials and tribulations that you go through, you continue to live. Now, I can't tell you why relationships end. It's always a vast array of situations and issues and problems and coincidences that drive a relationship to fail. Sometimes it's just too hard. Sometimes the love kind of just fades away. But regardless, good relationships don't end. And that's the point of this. Whenever people get a divorce or break up or end their relationship, people always come out and they're like, I'm so sorry. And I get why, because people are hurting and you want to offer your condolences. But good things don't end. It's not like people who are in a happy, healthy, giving relationship all of a sudden decide to end it. I mean, that would be completely bonkers. People end relationships because they're not getting what they need or getting what they want. It's basically as simple as that. Now, when you're submersed in that hurt, it's hard for you to understand and see that it's a good thing. Now, even if it's completely one-sided and the person that you absolutely adore left you, the one that you love, your one true love, walks out the door and ends a 5-year relationship that you've been in. If you truly love that person, you'd let them go. Because it's clear that they're not happy. It's clear that they're not getting what they need from you. And that's kind of how I view love. Why would you want them to stay? Why would you want them to be with you if they're not happy, healthy, getting what they want, getting what they need? Now, the funny thing about ending a relationship, I find, is that people tend to forget. Yeah, and you know what? I've done it myself. Once or twice. I think back to the relationship and I remember the good things. The plain and simple truth is our brains skew things. And we tend to let the bad things go and forget the disappointments and our issues and our complaints. Because we're just lonely and we want the person back. But I'm a firm believer that even if you had them back, you still wouldn't be happy. Because the relationship ended for a reason. Of course, I'm not delusional. It's hard to recognize these things when you're going through a breakup. I mean, they call it a breakup for a reason, because you're all broken up about it. The sad part is that we get it into our heads that we're alone, and that we don't have love anymore. But the truth is, love is all around us. And if you give it, you'll get it. You are not going to be alone forever. I know you want to think that. I know people who go through breakups want to believe that the hurt will never end, and they want to believe that it's never gonna get better. But it does. At the end of any relationship, no matter how it ends, you need a period of time to wallow. You need to spend some time loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, other people aren't gonna love you. Really, all I wanted to say was that breakups are hard. They suck. Lots of people go through them. Actually, we pretty much all go through them at one point or another. But you have to keep your heart light, and you have to move with love, and you have to keep the faith and hope, and you have to drop the negativity, And you have to keep loving yourself. And just know that things will get better. Even though I know that's totally not what you want to hear right now. Anyways, that's it for this week, and I'll see you all again next week for another edition of That Girl Tyson.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations, all hands man your battle stations.
Of completely straying from the path. Just so you know, this is going in the vlog.